Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
as always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Teacher Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Men can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festival is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time, where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
world leaders in United
Welcome
Nigeria
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Talk Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276.
Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
as always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Teacher Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Men can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festify is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we'll look into issues and discuss them. Hello, welcome to the program Big Talk on Global TV. My name is Topsy Gimba, your host. Big Talk is a program that comes to you every day from Monday to Sunday at about this time where we look into national issues. The program provides us that opportunity to invite personalities to be with us at any edition to explain issues they know how to do best. Of course, this edition I consider special because you are viewing us on DSTV channel 365, Star Times 276, and we are all on social media platforms. Wherever you are, you watch us both within and outside the country. Of course, you know, in National Assembly, lawmakers and 9, and each of them is provided the opportunity to cite 1 or 2 projects or to come up with a motion of bills to support the people that have elected him to be at the National Assembly to represent them. Of course, I have with me a well-known member who at one time served as a council member in Amak. And again today, he is a well-known member representing Ama Buhari Federal Constituency here in the FCT. No any other person than Honorable Joshua Chinedu Obika. It's a pleasure having you on the program this evening, Big Talk, Honorable.
Good evening, viewers. Mr. Topsy, nice having me around.
Thank you so very much. Sir, one wonders when you say Obika, can you just tell us who Obika is?
Well, Joshua Chinedu Obika, I think you have given some details about me. But Joshua Chinedu Obika came to Abuja in 1996. By 1998, I ran an election for the position of councillor in Abuja Municipal Area Council. And by the grace of God, I was able to win that election. And I served out for about almost 4 years plus, because there was an extension when we were in the council from 1999 to 2004. And after that, I have held other positions. The secretary of AMPP. I've served as the Southeast chairman for APC. And I've been appointed as the chairman, Parks and Transport with Abuja Municipal Area Council. And apart from that, I've been in my own private business. And here today, by the grace of God, and with the support of the people of this great city, I'm now the member representing them in the House of Representatives.
Wow.
So this is who Joshua is.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
What actually motivated you to find yourself playing politics?
Well, while coming to Abuja, it was never intentional. I never envisaged getting involved in politics. Even though that I have a kind of, will you say, my mom was a politician. Mm-hmm. He was a councillor before me. Okay. And I have an uncle also who has participated in politics, which is an assembly member, one-time commissioner. And, but with that, even at that, I never envisaged that I would ever participate. But being who I am, at every level I find myself, any community I find myself, I try to make sure that I participate in anything that has to do with the community development. So when my sister moved to Abuja in Kado Estate, it was a new estate when Abacha asked all the civil servants to move from Lagos to Abuja. And I found out that being a new estate, so many amenities were lacking. And I stood up for it. I make sure when there is a light issue that I go out solving it for the estate. When there is water problems or security. And I was amazed when the residents of the estate called on me to be the chairman of the estate community, even though that I don't even have an apartment of my own. But because of the commitment the way I'm committed to the things that has to do with the estate. So I see myself as a community mobilizer for good. And that was when some of them now find out that I can represent them even at the local council. Because immediately after then, the then head of state, Abacha, died, and the new political dispensation was introduced. And from their words, encouraging me that since I can be doing these things without being holding a political office, that if I have a political office, that they stand a chance to benefit more. And that was what led me to politics. And today, I'm in the House of Representatives.
Wow. So was it at any point in time your mother's political ideology influenced yours?
Not at all. But I will say that until I got involved,
before,
and I now see, okay, maybe because my mom
played it before,
maybe I will say that I pick it from her.
Wow.
Yes.
And never at one point in time, while in your university days, you were playing politics in the SUG?
Never.
Wow.
Never.
I mean, imagine, what magic wand did you use to whip all this divergence of cultures, ethnicity, to be able to identify you as one of them, and then giving you that mandate to stand for them as the local council, and even at the very larger perspective to become a member, a serving member, House of Representative, here in a complex society that's called FCT?
The magic wand is the commitment I have shown from that community that I was residing. They are the one that encouraged me and led me into politics by telling me to contest for that position. Even though they encouraged me, but they didn't tell me how difficult it will be. But I went in and God gave me victory. And since then, I've been committed to anything that has to do with development or any community or society where I find myself. Okay. So that is who I am. I'm just being natural. What you see is me.
You are truly a grassroots mobilizer. But let me ask you this fundamental question.
Yes.
Being an Igbo man, and then you came here, you met what they call the original inhabitants, and these are the Gbagis.
Yes.
They've been playing politics for over time to where we are today, using that particular identification of theirs to now whip sentiment and to get votes for whoever that comes out within their own midst to become whatever he wants to get. I'm just imagining, being an Igbo man, you were able to do that.
Even before me, there are so many Igbos that has occupied the position of councillors.
Wow. Before
I came. And there is also a lady and is somehow related to me. That is Princess Vivian Anizedo. If you remember, during 1997, she was elected as a chairman, even though that she was taken to court and was later removed. And before she could come back, Abacha died and everything started anew. And before me also, an Igbo man has represented FCT in the Federal House of Representatives. That is Honorable Okachukwu Nicholas.
Here in FCT?
Here in FCT. That was from 1999 to 2003. At the beginning of the dispensation.
Yeah, he was there.
He was there. So the history of non-indigenous people being in the office here, even as senators, House members, have been there before now.
Wow.
Yes.
So how do you manage these people, the mixture of these people, the Gbagis, the Hausa, the Igbos, the Yoruba, or whatever? I'm just imagining the task that you have ahead of you.
Abuja is a unique place. First, if you want to represent this great city of like ours, one, you must be a detribalized person. You must see things from the right perspective. And once you are able to throw that away from your mind will be clear enough to make you see and go the right way.
Wow.
Yes.
So detribalized.
Yes.
So tell us what you've been doing to each of them.
Well, it's not everyone that resides in Abuja, be it original inhabitants, be it residents, are all members of my constituency. And I'm meant to fend for them, do things that will support their livelihood and the progress of this great city of ours. One, let me start with the original inhabitants of Abuja. After being here since 1996, and after I have served as a member of the Abuja Municipal Area Council, I have already gained knowledge of what are the problems and difficulties they are facing as original inhabitants. And one of them is displacement. You know, Abuja was taken and made the seat of government. And with the constitution, recognizes Abuja that every land that is in Abuja belongs to the federal government. Automatically, it's only who the federal government has allotted any portion of land that can occupy it legally. And you know, even when government hitched this idea of having the federal capital territory, it was meant that everyone in the area mapped out will be moved so that this place will belong to nobody. But unfortunately, government was not able to implement that program because of, you know, Nigerian thing. People who were handling it didn't handle it well. Some people were not compensated. And at a time, even during Obasanjo's time, Obasanjo wanted to go into it again because they are the one that started it, you know, from Murtala Mohammed. And they found out that it would cost so much. And he dropped that initiative. And at a time, you know, the government as of then, like during Abacha days, you know, try to like give them a sense of belonging, those that live here, you know. And during those days, that was when the issue of chiefdoms came up and they were recognized by the federal government. Wow. So whether we like it or not, there is original inhabitants of Abuja, and government recognizes that. And coming to the problem I'm talking about, development has been displacing them. And the way government of the day is handling it, government has not been fair to the original inhabitants. There is no deliberate attempt to make sure that their issue is treated. They move them as development comes, and that is not the way it should be. And because of that, when I got to the house, one of the first bill that I brought to the house was the Original Inhabitants Resettlement and Compensation Agency, which have passed through the first bill. The first reading, the second reading, it has now gone for, very soon it will be going for public hearing, and we'll go through the third reading and await for President's assent. So that is purposely because of the original inhabitants of Abuja. So as the man who represents them, I should be able to think out of the box to make laws that will ease the kind of situation they find themselves in today. Okay. And also, we have gone ahead to do
that particular. Before we go to the next thing, that particular bill.
Yes.
What are the clauses? What is the content of the bill?
Before now, we have a department that called Department of Resettlement and Compensation under the Factor Authority. And you see, their job is mostly to apply for the land that will be used for that resettlement and compensation. Okay. And there's another department called the Department of Public Works. These are the people that handles the
all domiciled in FCT.
Yes, that handles the issue of like building and construction and other things. And we have Department of Satellite Towns. So these three departments usually come together, and no one is under anyone. All of them have directors of this. Okay. So it's like when you bring three people that is of the same rank and ask them to do something. You know, sometimes it will not all go well because no one is controlling the other. So what happens is that this one will carry out his job. The resettlement might get the land. Public works will build halfway. Such towns that is supposed to put the infrastructure there will go halfway. Okay. So none of this real. If you go to Kubwa Port Road, you will see that where the police are staying.
Yes, one large span.
That houses were made for the indigenous to be moved to, but they rejected it, which every right-thinking person will do. You know, it's like a chicken house.
Okay, by rejecting that estate.
Then the police later took it over.
Okay.
There is another one they built now at Shere. It has been overgrown with weeds. If you go to Wasa, the IDPs are living there. So it's like every program designed for the indigenous to be accommodated is at the end of the day doesn't have any.
Probably they didn't take into cognizance their culture.
Yes.
Maybe assuming the man has more wives.
Culture, and I don't see why the indigenous people should be separated from other people.
Okay.
The issue should be everybody will be integrated, so that them living within the midst of the people makes their life better.
Yeah.
And that was not designed that way, and that's why we brought up the bill on original inhabitants resettlement and compensation agency. So this agency will be dedicated for that particular assignment, and having an executive head for easy implementation and somebody who can be held accountable. Today as it stands, federal government cannot muster the kind of money needed to compensate or resettle the indigents.
It's true.
So how do we do that? If we have that agency that have that powers today, that agency can apply for land, collect land from MFCT, and bring in private partnership that will develop such area and share it and accommodate the original inhabitants, and also through what the private developers who will participate in that will do, they can also sell and make their own money, but government will not now be funding the buildings or the infrastructures of that area. That is one of the things that they will be doing. And these days, you will see people just go without even proper approval, take bulldozers and demolish houses of the indigenous people and other residents that live with them without proper channel.
Throwing them into hazards.
So when you have this kind of agency, there must be a way of certifying that every process that needed to be done before someone will be removed is carried out.
Okay. And that's what the bill seeks to address.
That is what it seeks to address. So, Mr. Gimba, you come from a village, a town, a community. Will you be happy you wake up in the morning and bulldozer is by the door of your house asking you to leave?
And obviously it's my original settlement,
where you are, even the
umbilical cord
is buried, your parents and everything. They are not even fighting for those things now. They are fighting for survival. And they are Nigerians. And they're originally from here. So government must be deliberate and be committed to the problems and the plights of the indigenous people. Yes.
Honestly, you really studied the challenges so well to be able to come up with this. Because ordinarily, nobody will be able to think like the way you thought of it, and then trying to formulate a bill to undergo some stages today that is very soon public hearing, right?
Yes.
And then by the time the public hearing, you compile the results, and then you send
we believe that before February, March,
that would have been done.
That would have been done by the grace of God.
Really?
And we will now be leaving it in the hands of the President and Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which I believe that he is a lover of FCT. With the projects that is going on in the FCT since the inception of 1999 to date, he has been the president that has committed more in FCT. He is the president that gave FCT a slot in the Federal Executive Council, even though all the major candidates of all the political parties, including mine, His Excellency Chief Peter Gregory Obi, also committed to it, to give FCT a slot in Federal Executive Council. And it happens that the President have done that. So I know that Mr. President will do that for us.
Do you have some few numbers of some of these communities within the FCT that are under such threat?
Many of them, and my own constituency is the most affected, because that is where the development is going on. That is the city, Amak and Buhari Federal Constituency. If you go, there is a place in Kuchibena that was just recently demolished. There is a place in Gishiri, although the minister acted and was able to provide some space for them. But there are so many communities that are in the city center. And if you go to those communities, it makes the city looks somehow, somewhere like Otako. And these communities are not, even the occupants of these communities, like the original inhabitants, are not purge. Some of those lands, instead of taking them away, the high rising can be built, and you give them their own flats and something like that. So the managers of these agencies will think out of the box and be creative enough to know how to factor the people and integrate them within the community or society where they are located, because that is part of their major problem.
At the time of presenting this particular bill before the House, did you get people who kick against this idea?
I can tell you that he got a very maximum support. There was nobody that is opposing that. Who will oppose such a bill when people are being denied of their ancestral home? Who will do that? It's only somebody who doesn't have the mind of God in him that will be thinking about that. We are profiling solution. What you don't know is that today, if we don't tackle the issue of the original inhabitants, it's dangerous for Abuja tomorrow. Because you can't displace people and they think they will not fight back. And this displacement is not only on land, because these people are originally agrarians. Their livelihood, their economic power is from farming. Today, land has been taken away. So their economic power has been whittled down. And that's why I also went ahead to put a bill on FCT scholarship board.
Because I wanted to ask you, are they going to school?
Yes, the FCT scholarship board. Because even if they can be able to take their children through the primary and secondary education, the tuition of tertiary institution is not as common as those in primary or secondary. And they are facing hardship on that, on how to do that. And formally, we have like a unit in the FCT that handles scholarship. But the way it's handled, the students are sent stipends to support them in school. You know, and I watched the last budget that I think that budget of 2024, it got about 800 million, and it's stipends. And I said, why would that be? So how will you even ascertain the people who these stipends are being sent to? And I see from my investigation, you know, what I found out from my constituents and the original inhabitants also, that the major problem that they have is the inability of these parents to pay tuition fees. So I see
those tertiary institutions.
Yes, and I see it that should be the target of the scholarship. Tuition, not stipends. Because even before now, parents have a way of taking care of their children at home. So if that tuition is paid, even if it's guaranteed that the children are drinking in their home, they can take it to school. And again, it will be easy and you will cut off corruption, because this particular money will be paid to the school, not to the individual. So we can keep track of what we have paid for the benefit of the residents and the original inhabitants.
Can you tell those who are watching us right now, this initiative that we have come up with, supporting them with tuition fee?
Yes.
How many are they? Which schools are they?
Now, this is a bill that is going on. It has not started.
Okay, you are proposing.
Yes, it has passed through the first reading, is coming for the second reading. I'm just telling you what that bill
will now serve by the time.
And again, you know, before now, because there is no working document on it, it's under the discretion of those managing it. So it can be mismanaged. Now, a particular section of people can take benefit of the whole money without anyone knowing. And Abuja is our commonwealth. And because of that, what we are doing in the bill, each of the geopolitical zone must have 10%. That will go for that scholarship. You don't just say scholarship and one segment of the country will take everything. Abuja is our commonwealth. South, southeast, southwest, northeast, north central, and northwest. 10% must go to
each of these 6 geopolitical zones.
You must allot it for people who comes from there.
You mean you are still the sponsor of that bill?
Of course. And 2, 30% should go to the original inhabitants, because their economic power, like I said, have been whittled down. So if government will be deliberate, carrying out programs that will bring them out of poverty, because if you measure them with those who are residents here today, they are not as educated, they are not financially empowered, they are not as exposed. So we'll be deliberately targeting them, mostly their youths, so that they can be able to integrate with other Nigerians and have a better life for themselves. So that is what this bill will be is all for. And the remaining 10% will be to the discretion of the management of
to share it
the
around
agency.
the way they want it.
Yes.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. So besides this bill, what other things have you so far done or you intend to do?
Well, I'm not talking on the bills, because why I'm talking on the bills first, I want people to know that the major work of a legislator is legislation. But today, people see us as more of an executive.
That's enacting laws.
Enacting laws, oversight. That is our job. That is our main job.
Yeah.
I've even advocated that even if the constituency project will be taken away from us, so that we can focus on more things that we're supposed to be doing. Because today, you see, there is a lot of confusion. Some of the members that are in the Federal House came in as rich men. Some of them are billionaires. Now, imagine if you come from a constituency, your total constituency budget, both zonal and the capital, is like maybe 250 million. And at the end of the day, one of your colleagues who happens to be maybe rich can decide to give his constituency ₦1 billion, using it to execute projects on his own. People will not know that this money is coming from his private pocket. And people will be looking at you. What are you doing in this National Assembly? Look at your colleague. He shared 200 cars. He brought,
not knowing that it's coming from his own pocket.
And at the end of the day, it will make you look. If you have a member of such that is a neighbor to you, automatically you are dead politically.
but it's honorable trying to say that there's not much money allocated as your own to be able to carry out project, not necessarily until that lawmaker is rich.
My 2024 budget, and when they say this budget, it's like this money is sent to us. This money is sent to government agencies. The power you have is that you are the one that decides what your constituents need and allocate it at a time. That is the only thing that you have to do. The rest is in the hand of.
So can you name those things that you have done so far in those 2 years?
Oh, when we come on board, one, we started with women empowerment. We trained 64 women.
264 women.
Yes.
Empowering them.
In different things. Some of them were trained in baking. Some of them were trained in makeup. Some of them were trained in soap making. And after that, we gave them all stipends to a kind of support, financial support to start their businesses. That is just in the beginning. As it stands today, my major legislative agenda is education, health, and rural infrastructure.
That's the agenda.
On education. On education, we have been able to fix about 5 primary schools and attracted the building of 2 new ones, about 4 primary schools and the 2 new ones that will be able to attract through our projects.
Scattered, randomly scattered. Or
if you go to Tudun Fulani, in Dede, you will see one. If you go to Shafa, you will see one. If you go to Ube, you will see one. If you go to Baakosa, you see those ones we attracted. So it's down there. Because we spoke out when things are not going well. And make sure that the government agencies, that is their job, we push them to come and fix it. Mr. Gimba, in FCT here, more than 40% of our primary schools doesn't even have chairs to sit on. That is disheartening. If it rains today in FCT, more than 30%.
Most.
I am telling you, even inside this city of ours, it's like that.
The city
and that's
center.
why I said, go to Kadokuchi. You will see some of them. Kadokuchi is just by Jahi here.
Yes.
Is it not city center?
It is.
So if you go to some of our schools, when it rains during the rainy season, more than 25 to 30% of schools, children don't attend school. because the roof is leaking.
They are under the purview of FCT or area council.
FCT. But you know we have UBEB. It's UBEB that handles it.
Yeah.
You know, that's supposed to be handling such a project. But the truth is this. Even though that I know there are corruptions everywhere, because some of these buildings were not long ago that they were repaired or built, and you go there, the roofs are all off. You begin to wonder. Beside the same school, you will see a building that has been existing for 25 years, and a school built for 2 years, the roof is no longer in order. What do you call that? Corruption. Because inferior materials were used to do this job, and they don't last. You know, and that is very bad. That is very bad. But that notwithstanding, like you said now, FCT is overwhelmed. All the infrastructure in FCT is overwhelmed. Is it the education? Many people, FCT was never envisaged to have the kind of population explosion that it has today. So in a community that would have maybe have like 2,000 people are having 10,000. So they need more classrooms. So you can't, it's the same money that UBEB gets that they still allocates to it. You know, without considering it has expanded. You understand me? But that is where FCT has to move in as a state and do more. And recently, I know that the minister approved about 30 new schools to be renovated and built due to the provisions we fought hard and make sure that we put in the budget. But that is still not enough, because FCT has lagged behind for a long time. The people that has handled FCT were not proactive to know that this population explosion will affect the infrastructures of FCT. Even security-wise, the police cannot do much. The number of people we have today is far much than what the present police force in FCT and the security apparatus can handle. That is one. Is it on health? Most of the hospitals built that you see today were built by the military. Do you know the last time the military operated? Do you know how many numbers of people that have increased? And the civilian administration have not built as much as the military has done. And the civilian administrations, the successive ones, have not also invested so much in our hospitals that today most of the basic or most important things that our hospitals need, if you go there, like you know, there is one section of the hospital that is very important: diagnostic section. Because if you're not diagnosed, how will somebody know what to treat? If you go to some of these hospitals now, you ask about this, they have to give you a note on where you will go and do that and carry out some of these diagnostic tests. And that doesn't have to happen here in Abuja. Abuja is the Nigerian's capital. It should be a pace-setter state, because it's a state governed by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the office being administered by our ministers. So I think that that is what is going on right now.
So that is, you said your major interest as a representative is on health and education. So with these dilapidated structures we have, and then the expansion of, because of the overpopulation that was not envisaged by successive administration until now, so it seems as if the work is largely rests on you.
The work is rested on the FCT ministry, which is our state government. And the National Assembly is the legislative arm of the FCT as a state. We are the one that carries out the budget of the FCT. And we in the National Assembly have played our role. This is the first time FCT is having almost 1.8 trillion. We have made the provisions. That is the work of legislator.
1.8 trillion for the FCT.
FCT. So, and kudos to the FCT minister, because you know, that money did not just jump in. Somebody aggressively make sure that the untapped revenues that FCT have that has been neglected is tapped. It's not just that those money just came from the federal government and give it to them. It's a budget. Budget is what the federal government brings in and what you generate internally, and which the minister has done very well in that aspect. So I believe that FCT now have what it takes to start, but it will take some time. It is a work that will take some time because it's something that would have started over years. So you just don't wake up and get all the schools repaired. The neglects have been there for long time, you know. But still, I also use every medium that I found to ask our honorable minister to also make sure that the basic things that ordinary Nigerians need in FCT is attended to. I'm happy with the roads construction that is doing in the city, some of them in the satellite towns. Our rural communities, we should be able to open them up more. The schools, we will repair them. Look at this, Mr. Gimba. Assuming I'm a civil servant, and I have 3 kids in school, in private school. Private school, maybe, there is no private school now that can collect less than 100,000 from you. I'm in primary school.
I understand.
3 of them.
I understand.
You're a civil servant. How much do you collect?
I understand.
As your salary? Then you have 3 children. You have a house that you have to cough out millions of naira to pay. So tell me, why wouldn't that civil servant be corrupt? Any file that passes his table that he have a way of collecting anything from it, he will do that. But when you were able to put schools in place, good hospitals in place.
Yeah, Honorable, let's just take a short break and then we get back on these issues you have really been enumerating. I'm really interested in what you are really doing.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I really wanted to take a break as a matter of fact so that to allow you to have a deep breath and then we continue.
Yes.
Yes.
So talking is my business.
I can understand.
Tired, yes.
Okay. Well, let me just seize the opportunity because I don't have enough time left as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Yeah, continuing, looking at the challenges that the FCT is facing, and you being a member representing, and it just came in about 2 years now as it is, are you saying those who were there before you didn't take into cognizance some of these things and then to get up to the board and making sure things should be addressed in the way, helping their indigenous people and those who are considered to be, you know, settlers in the FCT as is also often being described?
The beauty of democracy is that people go out there, sell themselves on what they will do, and the people vote them based on that. Maybe what they did was what they canvassed or what they campaigned for.
Okay.
I am doing mine. And I can tell you that within this period of my coming, we got about 470 solar lights distributed in our communities.
170.
400. Yes. But in our markets, if you go to the markets, you see, like, you go to Panteka. If you go to some of our estate like Mopo Barracks, you will see them. If you go to, that is how it's spread along everywhere. We've been able to deliver about call it 6 boreholes, new boreholes to different communities. 3 transformers are coming in this budget that will be installed pretty soon, maybe before January. We've been able also to send 54 students to College of Education Zuba, both tuition and the accommodation paid. That is a scholarship given by the federal constituency. We've been able to carry out one of the biggest medical outreach that more than over 2,000 plus people were attended to. People were operated, those with fibroid, those that have eye issue, those with appendicitis, hernia, different things like that. That was done here also. And I did the greatest empowerment that affected almost 400 and something people, whereby we distributed Kekene Pep, we gave block molding machines to people that will start block industry. We gave out car washing machines. We gave out refrigerators to those women who deal with minerals and other things. We gave out stoves with pots for those who want to start like a food business on a small scale. We gave 2 boxes